Hello everyone, GoldenNova here, the lore laureate, the explaining expert, and we are here for another wonderful Blindfold Banlist challenge. And this 3 months guest, I am being joined by the wonderful, the talented, editor of the channel, and possibly a stronger lore scribe than me, Emony-Chan. Emony, how you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing pretty well and glad to be here. Thank you for the shout out, by the way, on the Fire Kings. I'm glad that I was of help there.
Yeah, it was wonderful because, like, I saw the list, and then I was making, I think around the time I was making the list of cards I was about to do, or videos I was about to do for the month, and I'm like, oh, well, now I know a lot more about the backstory of Fire Kings than I otherwise would have. Folks, if you are not following Emony on Twitter, I don't know what to tell you. All of you here are here because of lore. She talks about lore a lot. It's really good. Go do that.
Yeah, I'm Emony-Chan, just at Emony-Chan, C-H-A-N, on Twitter, and I tried to do, like, a weekly post. I was doing them daily for a bit, but, like, there's only so much I can research in a week, so I'm slowing down.
Hey, I think that's a good idea. We don't want to get burned out on it after the Fire Kings. Huh?
You can't hear it. You can't hear it. But there is a womp womp going off in my head in audio in 5.1 stereo.
Oh, that's the next thing I have to do. I need to get like a Steam Deck, but it needs to be entirely just like those kinds of radio operators that have all the zany sound effects. Just to have those on standby at all time.
just raid the BBC's sound library. It's great.
Hey everyone, welcome to WZTM Orbital Platform Radio. Woo woo, bam 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 bam, woo. Anyway, now that I've shown off my impeccable sound effect game, here's how the Blindfold Banlist challenge works for anyone who hasn't seen it before. I am clearly unable to see right now. This is a completely foamed thing. I have not seen the list. I do not know what the changes are. I know nothing about it. All of you have submitted fake changes via a Google form earlier, and that has been handed off to Emony-Chan over here. What she's going to do is going to go through the real list, and she's going to sprinkle in some fake changes along the way. After each one is read out, I'm going to give my reasonings for whether or not it's a real or a fake change, give my final answer, and we're going to go through that until we have finished things out. At the end, we're going to look at the list, we'll see what I got right, we'll see what I got wrong. If I got more correct answers than incorrect ones, then I have won. And honestly, it's not looking good for you, chat. I am undefeated in this game, because I may be blind, but I can sniff out all of your devilish little tricks. So now, it's time to get started. Emony, do you have anything you want to say before we get started with the banned cards?
No, except that you're going down. You're going down. Call me Starscream, because I'm going to be a Decepticon.
Oh, really, Starscream? Well, we'll see if you can take down me, the leader of the Decepticons. Nah, that's bad. I shouldn't be trying to do G1. I should be sticking with what I'm good at. Beast.
Yet another day of plotting against you, almighty Megatron!
Ugh. And I thought going to this backwater planet would help to get me away from that insidious Starscream. Me, T-Rex Megatron. Yes.
I love T-Rex Megatron so much.
So good. I was never a big Transformers kid growing up, but we had like a VHS of like the first 3 episodes of Beast Wars, so it's just like ingrained in my mind.
Oh, hell yeah. Beast Wars was sick.
So good. Okay. I am committing not to get stun-locked for other random nerd things. I'm here for Yu-Gi-Oh! This time, consarn it. Emony, what is our first change on the list?
Our first change on the list is perhaps topical to what is going on in the film and TV industry. Union Carrier.
Man, I almost want to say that that's a... Now, that's coming off the list, because Union Carrier was already banned, right?
Yes. Is it being limited?
Oh, it's being limited. Okay. Yeah. So I want to say that it should come off the list purely for solidarity with all of the people out there fighting for their rights. That being said, this is more like a police union where it actually causes a lot of really bad things to happen. This enables Dragon Buster locks. It's certainly helpful for Drytron, but I don't know if that outweighs the good. Because, like, we got rid of things like Scythe previously, so unless they've decided to do a 180 on that one, I can't imagine they would bring back Union Carrier, so I've got to call this a false one. I do not think that the Union Carrier change is real.
Our next one comes from the depths of the cosmos. Chaos Space being limited.
Chaos Space is limited. Right, part of the challenge of this is me actually remembering what these cards are off the top of my head. I believe Chaos Space is like the normal spell that you discard to search the opposite attribute of light or darkness. I don't think that... Is that going from, like, unlimited to limited?
Yes, it would be going from unlimited to limited.
Alrighty, I can't imagine why they would change that now. I know it's been a strong card in decks like Dragon Link or other Chaos-invested archetypes, and I don't see an uptick of that happening right now. But at the same time, it seems so reasonable, because Chaos Space is so good. Oh, this is... I'm gonna feel like I've got a real egg on my face, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a false change. This one is not real.
Okay. Alright, well, our next one comes to us as That Boy and His Damn Bird. Droll and Lockbird being limited.
Oh, man. Okay. This is gonna be classically one of those ones that I get it wrong, purely because I want it to be changed. So recently we saw a whole bunch of new Magispector cards, and the one thing that people zeroed in on top of anything else, they weren't talking about summoning Tuned Magician, the very classic Gemini tuner monster. They weren't talking about summoning one of the lower-leveled Prophecy monsters that happened to be Wind. No, they wanted to summon Droll and Lockbird so they could bounce it back to the hand with Ally of Justice Birdman. Limiting Droll and Lockbird...
incredible.
It is so funny that these people... Like, I know that social media isn't a monolith, right? But the hilarious juxtaposition of, I hate lingering floodgate effects, also I have comboed out a way to create a lingering floodgate on demand.
Absolutely cracked. Like, I love players who just, you know, they delve deep into the recesses of their minds. Like, how can I do the most unhinged thing? And then they do it.
Absolutely. Like, truly, they are Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I don't know how else to say it. They have plumbed the depths of what this game has to offer. And I don't know whether or not it's a blessing or a curse. Anyway, back on track. Limiting Droll and Lockbird doesn't do anything to change that, but it does make it so that you're not inundated with the Droll and Lockbird that you draw off the top of the deck, on top of the one that you'll be getting for free off of Magispector. On top of the fact that I just think that Droll and Lockbird, while I love resolving it, I hate seeing it in the game, so I think this is going to be a real change. Droll and Lockbird 2-1.
Alright. Well, next up, we are moving into everyone's favorite territory of the format, Labyrinth. Is the Stovey getting limited?
Oh, moving to 1 on Stovey. This is wild, because Stovey, if... I know it's printed as a low rarity in Master Duel. I don't know what it ended up being in the actual game, and, like, as a deck build pack, I think it's guaranteed to be some kind of, like, at least rare. But it's honestly one of the strongest cards in the deck. If you're seeing Stovey early on, your game plan is immediately online. But at the same time, that feels like that's not the hit they would do. I feel like if they wanted to hit Labyrinth, they'd do something to, like, Big Welcome or something, so that that wasn't as repeatable as it is. Stovey, once it hits Graveyard, is going to recycle itself no matter what. So I don't think that the Stovey hit would be what they would go for. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that is not a real change. That one's fake.
All right. So you're saying that they haven't cooked Stovey. Got it. Moving on to everyone's favorite Snarly Boy. Do we believe that Kashtira Fenrir is semi-limited?
Okay, alright. This one's a little funky. So, I am of the personal opinion that Kashtira Fenrir is not as bad as Pankratops. It certainly has some stronger removal options, but it's not as flexible and it's way more telegraphed. So honestly, I would be okay with keeping Kashtira Fenrir at 3. That being said, I believe that the people deciding this things have a bit of a different mindset than me, and any deck that can run Fenrir is kind of obligated to run it. It's great stats, great level for things like Synchro and Xyz summoning, to say nothing of its absolutely brutal effect on the game. Semi-limiting it does still allow for the initial resource loop, but once you do that, you're basically done. And that sounds like the kind of thing that Konami would do to a card that has that kind of interaction. So I think that Fenrir being semi-limited is a real change.
Alright. Next up, we are going to go and have a nice big salad.
Oh.
Has Salamangreat Gazelle come off?
Oh my god, Salamangreat go from 1 to 3?
Has it?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so... Oh, that's good. That's wonderful, actually. Okay, I am... Catch me on any day of the week, and I'm either really excited that Salamangreat exists, or I absolutely despise its existence. And hearing that Gazelle could possibly be off the list right now fills me with joy. I know so many people who have, like, felt left behind by the fact that they don't have their wonderful leaping, galloping Gazelle able to Foolish Burial their cards. And Salamangreat did just get a big wave of support out of Soulburner's pack. So it feels like this would be a really good thing to help push their power level to make it more impactful and make buying those packs a better cost value adjustment. I don't know my big economic terms. Anyway, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Gazelle is back to 3.
Alrighty. Next up is one of my most hated cards, the Space Tick, Kashtira Shangri-Ira. Do you believe that they've limited him?
Oh, Shangri-Ira to 1. So that does help to curb a lot of issues that come about with Shangri-Ira. Normally, when you have a continuous effect, it's dependent on the card itself, but Shangri-Ira is worded in such a way that if you have multiple of those on the board, they essentially cover for each other. If you lose one, the other one will pick up all the copies for it. So on top of the fact that they already have destruction protection and get to be played alongside cards like a Rise Heart that help protect them, is patently unfair. Bringing that down to a single copy that you can have does a lot to make it so once you get rid of that monster, it's done. It means that you can play Book of Moon now instead of having to play Book of Eclipse to deal with all of the Shangri-Iras, and hopefully makes the whole zone locking thing a bit more manageable. I am going to, once again, this is a hopeful one. I'm going with I really want this change to happen for the game. This is a real change, Shangri-Ira 2-1.
Alright. Next up is one that that a lot of people, I think, hope for. Magispector Unicorn Kirin. Is it at 1?
Oh, we're bringing it back. Okay, so this would be in line with the, or kind of would be in line with the Droll Lockbird change. If they are anticipating Magispector changes for whenever Phantom Nightmare shows up next year, for us, that would make sense. Kirin was a absolute powerhouse back when it first came out. Untargetable, can't be destroyed by card effects, quick effect bounce, absolutely brutal. And they are kind of pushing Pendulum again with a lot of recent releases. Draco Slayers. It doesn't work too well with Valmonica because it's a level 6, but you can always tribute summon for it whenever you have free material. I think it might be time to bring Kieran back. It might not be as much of an issue now that we have a lot more targeting protection and ways to deal with monsters that have a lot of protection. So, fingers crossed, but Kieran coming back to 1, I think is real.
Alrighty. Well, next up, we have one of the first cards on our list that has absolutely done war crimes, Eradicator Epidemic Virus, going to semi-limited.
Semi-limiting. That is a strange change. Because the deck that has primarily been using that card to commit said war crimes is Labyrinth. And is it Lovely Lady or what's the 3000 attack named one? I always
That's Lady.
Okay,
that is Lady.
Okay, that is Lovely Lady. Can just search it out on a whim. So semi-limiting EEV does nothing. In fact, it's almost better because I think they're not playing it at more than 1, I imagine. So this feels like someone was submitting a change that I would want to see, like, have EEV hit on the list, but it didn't go hard enough for me to actually believe it. It literally makes no sense, so I think this is a fake change, despite the fact that I really kind of wish we would no longer have to deal with that card.
Fair enough. Okay, next up is another war crimes card. Do you believe that anti-spell fragrance has been forbidden?
Oh, okay. Someone is sniping me right now. I know you're baiting me, but I'm kind of going with it. Anti-spell fragrance is just not fun. I've never had a game where I've been up against it and I've all like, ooh, this is a wonderful interactive game. I wonder how I'll get my spells out from underneath this. No, it is just not my favorite, so maybe someone's faking it because they're like me and don't want to see it anymore. Maybe someone in R&D has finally heard our pleas after all of these years, but I'm going to hold hope in my heart that anti-spell fragrance is now banned. I'm going down as saying that is a real change.
Okay.
And
next one up.
now chat is just spamming right now. I know that they're being like, oh.
Okay, next up is one that thankfully has not done war crimes, but some people have mixed opinions about. Herald of Orange Light becoming unlimited.
Oh, okay. I believe, if my format history is doing me justice, that was hit on the list because of the ubiquity of the Ishizu shufflers. Everyone was playing it. Orange Light worked really well with them because it would trigger like a lot of their, if this card is sent from hand or deck to graveyard effects, you'd get a whole bunch of stuff. And even like the shufflers would actually just go right to graveyard, so you had access to them. So
yeah,
Orange
absolutely
Light,
correct.
Okay, cool. Glad I'm up on that one. And yeah, then Orange Light just became an easy addition to be all like, oh, well, I might as well play this, so I have a turn 1 play against my opponent's cards that do similar things, and or just their monsters in general. But with the big hits that we've seen recently to the Ishizu cards, I don't think Herald of Orange Light rather, necessarily needs to be as hit as it was. So yeah, this makes sense from an adjustment standpoint. I think this is a real change. We're getting back our full copies of Orange Light.
Okay. Moving into territory that I believe Shiggy's would have something to say about. Morphtronic Telephone going to limited.
Oh my goodness. Her stonks are going to go through the roof.
Yeah, like she would just be raging, frothing at the mouth right now.
Okay, so putting it to 1 does effectively kill the Telephone FTK. You can no longer set up a situation where you're infinitely summoning broadband connections into making gigantic link monsters for victory. That being said, we are a full Legendary Duelist set removed from its release. If they wanted to do something about Telephone, they would have done it. And no one's really been, at least on higher level competitive play, been using that to snipe games. Truly, it is unfun, but I could say that about a bunch of different cards that haven't been hit on the list. So I think the Telephone going to 1 is a fake change. They would have done it already if they were planning on doing it. Now seems like a weird time for it. That is a fake change.
Okay. So you don't believe that we're going to lose broadband access? Got it.
No, yeah, there's going to be a landline in every house in this good, in these good realms that we live in.
Oh God, going back to 56K. 3 hours to download a small video clip.
Folks, if your deck doesn't start by going, then you're not playing real Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm sorry.
True. All right, next up. This was one that made a lot of people mad. So maybe the damage is being undone here. My Friend Curly Limited.
Ooh, okay, so My Friend Pearly is the continuous spell card that pulls a Pantheism of the Monarchs and lets you grab the quick play spells that actually get you into the game. It's also what lets Perlily be good because it can't search them directly, but it does get you My Friend Pearly, so it is just effectively 3 more copies of Pearly. Being limited means that you are... Because the thing is that Perlily can search My Friend Pearly, but it's also used to help get, like, the field spell, which helps keeps interaction off of your Pearlies, and that's really important because that means that it's harder for your opponent to just imperm you to stop your plays. So by limiting My Friend Pearly, I do believe that actually has an important knock-on effect to how people actually use Perlily. So you're hitting a support card that would actually, I think, be a very clever change. And I almost don't want to give the developers credit for that. But at the same time, Pearly is kind of like one of the decks to beat right now, and
yeah, it's very strong.
Oh man, I really wish they would have done something with like Sleepy Memory, so that you could like get the like maybe 1 draw during the standby phase is fine, but like stacking that is just kind of absurd. But if you had to hit anything, My Friend Pearly, I guess makes sense. I'm gonna take a per leap of faith here, and I'm gonna say this is a real change. My Friend Pearly to 1.
All right. Next up, one that some people say does war crimes. I strongly disagree and think that this is a good old boy. Bestial Magnamut Limited.
Oh, the Pizza Hut baby. Okay, so this is like limited in Master Duel. And like I agree. Why are people upset about Magnamut? Like, I guess, you know, if you're fighting Dragon Link, it's like, oh, on a turn delay, I get to have my next dragon piece that I want. But
yeah, if anything, like, Druis Worm has done more war crimes.
Absolutely. Just being just, like, free. Not even... I think it targets, but, like, it doesn't even destroy. It's just all like, oh, too bad. Protection, go away. Shush, into the graveyard with you. And as long as they're not touching my boy Saranir, I'm a happy Brandon player.
Galzo somewhere is very just perked up.
My Brandon senses are tingling. Okay, but see, this is interesting because this would be a change that was done in Master Duel before we did it in the TCG. I guess that's actually not weird. I think I'm being a bit too TCG centric on that one when the OCG does changes on there as well. Oh, this is a toughie. This is actually a toughie because I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other, at least so far when it comes to what's actually real. What I want to happen is that we get to keep Magnamut at 3 and we can all keep playing Fly for free forever with our good dragons.
What makes a man turn neutral, Kif?
You couldn't see oh dear. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say that that's a fake change, just so that hopefully I can manifest that. I can pull like a morphogenetic field, and I can have the future affect the past, and we can keep Magnum Mud at 3, so I'm gonna say that's a false change.
Alright. Moving right into terrifying territory. Orchest Harp Horror Unlimited.
Oh, wow, going off the list, 2, 3. So I have heard no end to the arguments for why Harp Horror should come back. Clearly Orchest was a huge threat back in the day. It's all people would ever want to make with their 2 effect monsters. But then nowadays, their power level is kind of sunk, and I can kind of see why. Dingirsu was a big threat when it was around, but now it's just kind of another in a long line of big utility boss monsters. That being said, I don't think that Konami would want to 0 to 60 it like that and just pull all copies into existence. I think it's fake purely because of the fact that it was unlimited, so I don't think this is a real change.
Alright. Fun fact, though, I did win a match on Edo Pro last night using Dingirsu.
Yeah! Let's go!
In Horus, no less.
Oh my god, I cannot wait for those Horus cards. Holy cow, they're so cool. Okay, now did you win offensively or defensively? Like, was the removal important, or was keeping your board protected important?
Yeah, no, the removal was important. I actually don't remember what I did because it was super late and my memory is blurred, but I just remember my opponent going, frick! So, alright, next up is perhaps the goodest little guy of all time, who has never done anything wrong, should never, ever have been forbidden, and who I really want a plushie of, Performage Plushfire going to Limited.
Oh, okay. Now this I can mess with a little bit more. This is more of a quarantining things off the list. It goes along with the push for Pendulum that we've been seeing. Very strong, very incredible card. If you were playing during Performage Pendulum, Performapal format, you know that this unassuming little poof will leave mental scars. That being said, I think it's fine now. I'm gonna say this is real. We are getting Plushfire back to 1.
Alright. Moving on from the best little guy of all time, we are getting into pot territory. Do you believe that they have decided to limit Pot of Prosperity?
Oh, a prosperity hit. Oh, okay, very, very powerful consistency tool. I don't think, unlike Pot of Avarice, Desires, I don't think there's ever been a question about how good Prosperity is in any deck that has room in their extra deck to feed it. But going to 1 directly from 3 is pretty big. I will go ahead and say that Prosperity to 1 is a real change. I think it's been unhit for far too long, and it's about time that it had some kind of nerf. I think it might be a little over the top, but it also kind of makes sense, so I'm going on record that's a real change.
Fair enough. I have a fun story about Prosperity, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I got my playset for $30 because I bought it off of eBay on an auction with no reserve, and nobody else bet on that auction.
No way!
Yeah. It's like I used up all my luck for like 10 years in one eBay auction.
Well,
right.
retroactive congratulations, and I also now, I guess, sorry for your loss.
Yeah, honestly, right? Yeah, not me looking at Chaos Angel like, oh my god, how can I ever afford this card?
Oh,
I love that card. I hate that card.
Quick side game. Chaos Angel, would or would not?
Oh, would. Unquestionably. Immediately. Would.
Yeah, okay,
Like, grabbing the mic, jumping over people to declare would.
Okay, good. Glad we're once again on the same wavelength about this, because, yeah, definitely would. Oh, my God. The SMT energy that just drips from this thing is like, oh.
Making out with horrors beyond human comprehension? Hell yeah.
Yes!
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God. What else could you ask for?
All right. We've got a few left. Next one up is going to 1. Redox, Dragon Ruler of Boulders.
Oh! Okay, so we've had Blaster. We've had Tempest. Of the 2 remaining Dragon Rulers, Redox is the least problematic. Title's like a Foolish, I think. And we can't let people have Foolish Burials. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense for the slow reintroduction of the Dragon Rulers that we're seeing, on top of that killer new Xyz promo monster that we saw a little while ago. So, yeah, Redox to 1. Either this is a completely real change that's in line with current policy, or there's someone really smart out there who's mimicking the pattern. And either way, I commend you. I think it's a real change.
All right, we are into perhaps the biggest war criminal on this entire list. I want to ask you, Nova, who do you think I'm about to bring up?
Okay, biggest war criminal. It's someone that we're all tired of seeing. If I could manifest the meme of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where I get to point at the portrait and say, I'm getting tired of this guy, the portrait would have to be a Riseheart. I hate... This is easily...
Ding, 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 ding! You got it! It's a beautiful Kashtira Riseheart! Yours if you win this game. Do you believe that he has been forbidden?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so... I said this during my my video about the Age of Overlord Visa lore, that the new trap card that summons the extra deck heart monsters does get severely nerfed if a Riseheart gets banned, but a Riseheart kind of needs to get banned. I don't think there's a single person in chat who's not trolling who would not agree that this card is just bad for the game. If it was not a walking macrocosmos on top of everything else, I think it would be fine. But the fact that it just shuts off one of the game's most prevalent mechanics all by itself, has an easy-to-access summon requirement, has a Drident but better effect, and refuels itself on Xyz material is outrageous. This is the pure distilled version of late-stage capitalism, and it needs to die. Please, for the love of all that is holy, by the will of Halakdi, creator of light, let this card be banned. Yes,
I agree. Also, free Dryden.
Also, free Dryden.
Do you believe it's banned, though?
Yes, I believe it is banned. Please, with all the fibers in my being, I am going to say that this is a real change.
Whoops, lost my button again. There we go.
It's okay. Chat's sending me their spirit energy to rid the universe of Ari's heart while we wait. What is it called?
Yeah.
The Genki Dama, I think, is the...
Yeah, the spirit bomb.
Yeah, the Genki Dama.
Fun fact for those of you who are Dragon Ball fans, the Genki Dama is a pun on the Japanese word for rice cooker.
Wait, does that mean it's supposed to tie into the Mafuba?
Probably, actually.
Because, like, that was a rice cooker too, right?
Yeah. No, it was. I'm pretty sure it's just like a throwback joke to that as a name. Thanks, Akira Toriyama.
That's awesome.
Alright, we have a couple more left.
Alrighty.
Next up is something that I will say has enabled war crimes, though perhaps cannot be described as a war criminal itself. Runic Fountain being limited.
Ooh, okay. This would be another really clever change, because Runic Fountain is, very, very, searchable. you have Hugin. I think it's Hugin. You have
it's
Runic,
Hugin.
Yeah, you have Hugin and you have Runic Tip. So you have those. So you can get to Fountain still. It's of course sucks that you're not going to draw it, but you can get it. And then Hugin itself can protect the Fountain. So it really does put more importance on using your protections to keep the Fountain safe, because you're not going to have... Well, no, you can have multiple, because then you can make Jerry, and Jerry gets it back for you. So it's just less consistent, and it leans more on having to use our good puppy to recycle this. So I think maybe semi-limiting Fountain would have been a more reasonable change, but it makes sense to limit it. So I'm gonna say that's a real change. I think that's a good idea. Maybe not a great idea, but a good idea. Real change.
All right. Right next to Runic Fountain, do we believe that Runic Tip has been forbidden?
Oh wow, okay. Thanks, Apollo. I appreciate your gifts of prophecy. Oh man. So Runic Tip fulfills this strange niche in the game where it's a spell card that can search another spell card. Sometimes you see these in like decks that are very spell oriented, and Runic is one of them. And it always ends up being very powerful because it's basically a wild card. It represents not only Fountain, but it represents monster effect removal, negation, battle protection, just a whole host of things. Banning Tip, though, feels ridiculous. Like, that compounds with the potential Fountain change, because now you're only searching it with Hugin. Oh wow. I am gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna trust my gut on this one, and I'm gonna say that Runic Tip being forbidden is too heavy-handed of a change for them to actually do. So I'm gonna say that is a fake change.
Okay, and we are at our last entry for the day.
Okay.
This is one that every Mermaids player really, really wants to just see all the time. Do we believe that Tirlamon's Kit Kalos has come back to 1?
Kit coming back to 1. So I've never played Tears and Paper, but I loved playing Tyr Brandon and Master Duel. And Kit Kalos is just such a wonderful card for the thing. It's very powerful, and its banning has forced probably some of the funniest deck building solutions to a problem I've ever seen in my life, which is wonderful. That being said, I hate it when cards like this get banned. Kit Kalos is strong, but they did make it a specific material, and especially for like a newer player, if you pick up a Rule Kalos and you're all like, oh cool, where's the fusion material, and you don't know what a Beast King of the Swamp is, or I guess King of the Swamp, you're out of luck. So I think for the sake of clarity, for not causing confusion, and for just getting a good lady back, Lady of the Lake, Searcher of Cards, Miller of Decks, I want Kit Kalos to come back to 1, so I think that is a real change.
All right, and that is the list. I have recorded your sins and your mercies, and do you want to know what you were right about?
Oh, okay. First off, I got the blindfold off. I'm adjusting to the big light that I have across my desk. Oh, my cave creature. Oh.
Welcome back, Gollum.
Thank you.
Me likes the bannings. Me likes to kill the cashiers.
Okay, let me go ahead and turn on the list page here so we can all see it in real time. Okay. Let me take a look at this, and I'm gonna run through the list here, and I'm gonna see what I. I'm gonna go through this, and if there's anything that I missed afterwards that I don't remember, remind me, and we'll see how much of a silly goose I was. Okay. Boom. Okay, Arise Heart is banned. Thank God.
Yeah!
Finally!
Let's go!
I'm going to invoke another meme from Cabin in the Woods. The evil has been defeated.
Absolutely true.
Okay, alright, so very necessary hit. Holy cow. Okay, limited. Magnum. No! No!
Yeah, sadly our boy, he's gone to 1. To answer Beowulf, by the way, because I did not see, I was not watching chat. Yeah, no, she got her date with Avramax.
Oh, that's good, that's good.
They went to Olive Garden, it was nice.
Oh. That's good because with link material like that, you know that guy needs breadsticks.
Unlimited breadsticks. As if he wasn't enough of a glutton.
Or a gluten, if you will.
I will throw you into the sea.
And it will be deserved. Okay, also Chaos Space. I got that wrong, right? I said that wasn't a real change.
Correct. Yeah,
dang
you
it.
missed that one.
Okay. Unlimited. Okay, so the Orange Light and the Gazelle were correct. Incredible.
Yep.
And that was everything? Oh.
Yeah,
no.
Yep. You may have been defeated by chat quite soundly by volume alone.
Oh no. Okay, what's the total, Emony, please? What's this?
Let me quickly just count the rows. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 correct ones. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
No,
13.
No!
13 wrong.
No! No! My first defeat!
Well, I'm glad I could be an instrument of your destruction.
Yes, Emily, I'm glad you were my first. It means a lot. Thank you very much for being here with me. That one.
How do you feel, mighty Megatron?
No. The Energon! I have to change back before I'm locked! Oh, wow. Okay, so what this means for the game, so no Pearly hits. So they're still as good as that. Even better now, because their stuff's hit in the graveyard, because now a Rise Heart can't mess with it.
Correct, yeah. Pearly is looking real strong now.
He needs to find Sam Woodwookie and the Olive. Someone get Bumbles McFumbles in here. We got to get our third Transformers person here.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Is
okay.
my future playing Starscream?
Yeah. You and me can team up. We can have hijinks where we betray each other all the time. It'll be great.
I'm just gonna have to find, or make a transparent GIF of Starscream being reduced to ashes. Just to be able to, throw up as a react.
Oh, throw up on screen, not actually. Okay.
Yeah. Megatron, is that you? And then Starscream was erased.
I'm not feeling so good, Megatron. Alright.
Okay, yeah. So your first defeat. Continue.
Yeah, first defeat. My second defeat. Pearly is still as strong as ever. What other big format changes does this do? I'm showing my whole ass right now, but I don't know if I'm fully up to date on what the meta is. I think that Unchained being hit would have been very unreasonable, so it makes sense that there weren't any hits for that.
Yeah, I mean, their enabler card is King of Yama, and we haven't seen enough from Unchained, I think, to say it is a problem.
What other deck is prominent enough right now that would have warranted hits?
This kind of does a little bit of damage to Dragon Link, not substantial in my opinion, but they've taken away a couple of searchers for them. That's kind of it.
It's the new Necros, folks. We'll just keep hitting Dragon Link and they'll still be coming back better than ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, woof. Okay, well, Yeah, I guess we have to figure out, like, what the penalty is for me now that I've, like, had a loss. We gotta figure out what I've gotta do now.
You have to watch all of Victory Gundam, and you're not allowed to drink while you do it.
No! God, I can't wait to get back the Crunchyroll subscription so I can get back on that one. Double Zeta was a trip.
Hell yeah. Double Zeta is way better than people give it credit for. Victory Gundam is way worse.
Yeah, I was watching Firmth, if you've heard of them. They're a Baphomet VTuber. But like they do it as like a PS1 model. It's so wonderful.
Ooh, interesting.
But
I like that idea.
It's very cool. And they just did like their second part of I've watched all of Gundam, so you don't have to, but maybe consider watching some Gundam. And they just finished the 80s, and they talked about Victory, and it's like, wow, this does sound like a bit of a crapshoot, but I'm very interested.
You will regret those words. That's all I'm gonna say.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much for joining me, Emony. I super appreciate it. Once again, for everyone who's joined us now, where can people find you?
So I'm on Twitter at Emony-Chan. I refuse to call it whatever Elon Musk tells us to. He doesn't respect pronouns. I'm not respecting his goddamn business.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
You can find me there. Do you mind if I pitch for Graveyard format?
Oh, please go ahead. I'm grabbing your link right now so we can get that pinned.
Awesome. Actually, I have a new one, so I'll just send it to you in chat really quick.
Oh, sick.
So yeah, come out for Graveyard Festival. We're running it on October 14th. It's a custom ban list that limits you to fiends, fairies, spellcasters, and zombies in line with spooky season. It also has some interesting ban list additions and subtractions. Plush Fire is completely legal, and Kirin is at 1, for example. But we have also banned things like Pot of Prosperity and every floodgate we could find, because we do not believe in floodgates in this house.
Absolutely.
So,
what was your change?
We still have some slots open. Oh, sorry. Yes.
What was your submission to the Blindfold Banlist challenge? I didn't ask.
Oh, it was Pot of Prosperity.
Oh, okay. Well, you got me good there.
I figured I would. It's a very tempting, like, you just want that card to somehow be banned or limited. It's so powerful, especially in Labyrinth.
We have 15 cards on our extra deck, and it is all fuel that I'm going to throw into the fire, directly into Stovey.
Yeah, no, exactly. Stovey eats well thanks to Pot.
Alrighty, so yeah, folks, link for the Graveyard Format Discord is pinned in the chat. Go ahead and give it a look. I think the conceit is very good, and it's going to be in October, which means it's the Spooky Month format. And you got to play in the Spooky Month format.
Hell yeah. And we've got some slots open, so I hope to see y'all competing with us. And Nova's going to be helping us judge stuff. He'll also be competing, but obviously not judging his own matches, so look forward to that.
That would be a conflict of interest, and that would be very good at all.
We don't stand corruption here.
Nuh-uh. Institutionalized power structures, get them out of here. Kick him to the curb. Put him in the recycling. Actually, no. Recycling would imply reformation, which that's not happening here. Incinerator with you. To the woods!
Throw the whole Supreme Court into the Indian Ocean.
Goodbye. Alright.
Alright, I'll talk to you later, Nova.
Talk to you later. Have a good one. Take care, alright?
Bye, Chad.
Today's episode was brought to you in part by Dragon Shield. When you want to protect your cards with the power of dragon scales, get some sweet lore for them, and support the channel, check out my link in the description to get started. Today's episode is also brought to you by my lovely patrons, including the illustrious Quasar Commander Green Knight, Nebula Navigator's 3rd Dynasty, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Andrew Newman, Avi Chali, Kane Senpai, Chibi Gohan, Christopher Fuss, Clockswork, Danny Bound, Dark Dragon X830, Eric, Aaron the World Breaker, Frankie, Garland Chaos, Genesis Yu-Gi-Oh!, Great Big Pillock, Hair Bear, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Howling Zangetsu, Hydracraft 135, Iron Zero, Iskander 711, Mana Charge, Marion James E. Picata, Marluxia as a Girl, Mega Combi, Molly Renata, Nathan Vig, Orozco 09096, Panther J, Rebel King Lucifer, RJ the Jank Monarch, Sammy Haim, Sir Knight JCB, Skybuster Leo, Sophie, apparently, The Wizard Moose and Xander Wolfensberger, Cosmic Crusaders Almento 5010, A Random Pup, Ariel Kersey, Beluga Masta, Blue Gem, Chaz Ghost, Corbinisms, Drachenwald, Drake and SpongeBob be like, you used to call me on your shell phone, Dripfed Tar, Eki Bullock, Eva Padilla,
Hike Boyagian,
Herbal D, Inblink, Jester Designs, Kale the Dragon, Carp, Kevon Public, King Scarlet Yu-Gi-Oh!, Lemon Yu-Gi-Oh!, Lord Whoop-De-Doo, Manga Pages, Matt Simmons, Michael Shimabukuro, Nitromo, Ruxith Sarani, Shizuka Nijimura, Stephen Williamson, The Legendary Raven, Tucker Ordorn, Venusian Teapot, and Zeldreka, as well as the wonderful Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you'd like to be a part of these credits, get early access to videos, determine what videos I make, and many more benefits, it would mean the world to me if you check my Patreon page in the description or consider joining as a YouTube member.